Hey there, I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Today's Friday the 20th of December, and it's our last day. We had a half day today for school. Last day of January, so we're off for a couple weeks for Christmas break. Today, we're going to start off this video real quick here in the shop, and then we're going to go do some demonstrations, both to test out the product I want to show you and the new loader on the tractor. But LANDTOP, which is a company that has sent me a hay spear in the past, 3-point hay spear, they reached out to me again, and one of the options I had was a set of 4,000 pound rated pallet forks, and that's what I chose because that's something I'll use on a regular basis, and wanted to test them out. I think right now they're listed at around $800 or maybe a little less. I looked them up about a week ago. I'll have to look them up again to make sure, but I'll leave links in the descriptions for these pallet forks if you're interested, in a discount code as well. But it's LANDTOP manufacturing, and pretty neat set of pallet forks. They're 48-inch forks rated at 4,000 pound lift capacity, skid steer style, quick attach of course, and not only are they pallet forks, but you also have a spot for a hay spear, your stabilizer tines for a hay spear. You can hook a trailer receiver to that. The forks are fully adjustable, and they have a backing headache rack, I call them. I don't know what you'd call that, but a support plate up here to help stabilize your load if it's taller and kind of keep it from pitching back on your tractor. They got a slot right here in the middle. You can slide the forks over, take them off. These forks are pretty heavy. I'm not going to go ahead and take them off right now, but you can't slide them over. What I like to do when I'm adjusting them most of the time, I'll tilt my fork straight down and they slide real easy. And you can latch them back. Then, if you want to take your forks off, you could put your hay spear in here. The hay spear didn't come with it. That's something that I already had, but it'd make a good hay spear frame as well if you wanted to, or if you wanted to use this for forks and a hay spear and not buy two attachments, that's also an option. Let's tilt these over. Now, see they're pretty easy to adjust when you got them tilted up like that. That way you're not handling the weight of the forks when you're trying to move them. Now you might be wondering why I needed another set of pallet forks. I already had some I made. The reason that I went ahead and accepted this is because I have that little grapple thing made on my other forks, and I'll probably just primarily use those for logs and that type of thing because they're a 36-inch fork. These are 48 inches long. Those other 36-inch forks are a little bit too short to lift pallets with. That's kind of, if you've seen my video of moving the wheel weights for this John Deere, it's one reason the pallet broke, because those forks don't go all the way through them, and you're sort of teetering the pallet. With 48-inch forks, you can reach all the way through the pallet. So that way I have a designated set of forks to use as forks, and then I have a set to use to handle logs and be my grapple, and not have to switch that in and out, just make it a little handier. And the 48-inch forks will be nice. Like the 36s, for loading logs up high on a truck, you can tilt them down and get more tilt. With a long fork, you can't get the tilt down hardly as easy. One thing about it comes in two shipments. The forks come in one shipment, and the backing plate comes in another. You need to be home when you get this delivered. Our FedEx driver was none too happy with me when he seen this, and I don't blame him because he couldn't handle it. Luckily, I was home, and he come and got me to help him unload it because just about too much for one delivery driver to get out. The forks, they're not in a box, and they're a little easier to handle individually. But we'll take this thing out and go down maybe and pick up some logs. I hate to get in the mud. It's so muddy out, but I want to get this video done, and in case anybody's interested in a set of these, the LANDTOP forks. We'll go down here under the hill and pick up some logs I've got. See how it does on them. couple of logs set out here to try lifting. They're pretty heavy duty oak logs, so we'll see how it goes. Disappointed a little bit in the strength of the loader off the forks until I did this, because this is a combination. I've lifted with the Kubota and I've lifted with this, and so you'll see it better in a minute. I'm gonna pick it back up. It's a big poplar stump, and I picked it up down there at that brush pile and backed up this hill with it, and I don't have any counterweight on the back, so I'll attach to it and we'll get off and look at it. That's a pretty good load right there. A big old poplar stump that size. And facing downhill with no counterweight. I mean, it picked them other two logs up, but I didn't feel like it picked them as easy as I thought it should, but I guess it did. I'm pretty happy with being able to pick that up from down in that hole and back up here with it without the back end coming off the ground. Phew, it's coming down now. Here's our last test. Got two big red oaks. Barely got this one on the forks. It's just barely catching on the tip of the forks out here. The tractor won't lift it as far as straight up, but it'll curl it. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna curl down, raise my boom, then curl up. If you had to move a big load like this, you could. The Kubota wouldn't have curled that much, I know for a fact. It would lift pretty strong though, so it could have might have lifted them off the ground some. But no counterweight on the tractor, and we'll see what happens right here. To these two logs, I'll get some measurements and use a log weight calculator to see what they are. As you can see, it's on the ground with no counterweight. I wouldn't want to move with it without some counterweight on it. Really should never carry a load that big, but it's got a lot of curl strength. About all or more than anybody needs, probably. Alright, be sure and check out the LANDTOP pallet forks and other items they have if you're interested in anything. And a link and discount code and stuff will be in the description. But that was a good little test on the pallet forks and the tractor. I actually think the tractor lifts more than I thought it would when I first lifted them two logs. I thought it felt a little weak, but I didn't realize how heavy that one log was, I don't believe. Be nice to have both tractors here for a while to compare and contrast, but getting a little more used to it. Still a long ways to go. Having to think a lot on the Kubota, I could just do it without thinking, but I ended up putting the bucket back on and moving some leaves and stuff up miles where people park. Is a big pile of junk there. I moved it out of the way while I had the tractor out for before Christmas comes. But anyways, appreciate y'all watching, and I hope this video wasn't too long. I don't know how long it's gonna be, and we will talk to you later.